Joey Mazza. Joey Mazza.
Good to be here,
Big
Darren.
Joe. Let's go. Woo! Episode 33. And I have with me here today the irreplaceable, the monumental, who should be the fifth head on Mount Rushmore. I got so excited, I forgot how many faces were on Mount Rushmore.
Yeah, I'm not going to be able to live up to this.
Joey freaking Mazza from Eva's Village. Joey, it's amazing to have you on the show today. Can't believe we're at episode 33 of Homage. It's a great pleasure for me to have you on, as always. Joey and my relationship goes back now 15 years, going on probably 16, 17 years.
Absolutely.
To anybody that knows Joey, knows just an incredible story. The thing that makes me so proud and humbled to be friends with Joe is not only the fact that we put on behind the scenes together every year, and the fact that we, share a friendship and all these things, but the fact that we get to talk throughout the year. I know Joe's story. I know what he's about, where he's come from. And what's the most humbling, I think, for me, is your openness in telling your story, which is not always easy. And the story has even taken more turns as we've, gotten older together, so to speak. But I've never, and I can say this with full transparent honesty, this last behind the scenes, when you told your story in front of everybody, I've never seen a room more moved by tears, by joy, by happiness, by sadness, by every single emotion you could possibly have in humanity at one time. It was just mind-boggling. So, Joey Mazza, I want to welcome you to episode 33 of Homage. It's truly humbling to have you on, given how long I've known you and how much effort and energy you put into Eva's Village. But for the audience out here that might not know you, tell us a little bit about Joey Mazza. Tell us a little bit about the story, the man, the myth, the legend, if you will.
Yeah. Actually all that. But, I was born in Patterson. I was raised in Wayne. I come from a very good family. I chose the wrong path. I went to Wayne Hills High School. At the age of 18, I quit high school because I couldn't take the bullying anymore. I couldn't take it. I was getting it at home. I was getting it at school. And I moved into the city, and I was very successful for a long time until the drugs just took over. And, I don't like to get into a big drug-a-log, but on May 10th of 1990, I woke up in Abingdon Square Park, right across from Magnolia Street, where I lived. And I woke up and I got a free ride from New Jersey Transit out to Wayne, New Jersey. And I got to Straight and Narrow Detox, and I said to them, help me or I'm going to kill myself. And right now I have 33 years clean as a direct result of all the work I put in and from working at Eva's Village. I was a client at Eva's from June 14th, 1990, and 4 months later they hired me as a client because I had typing skills. And Monsignor Puma knew my mother because my mother was Bishop Ordimer's secretary.
Wow.
And doors opened up. I got my GED at Eva's, and more doors opened up. And now I'm the manager of special events and major gift cultivation at Eva's. And I love what I do.
First of all, like the way you position that, like there's so much more to those that have been to a behind the scenes or have any involvement with Eva's. you're so much more than that. And I know you'll downplay it. And I know you'll joke about like, you know, you had to have an 8-year-old kid walk you up on stage during the, behind the scenes because you were so like, Joey to Eva's is larger than life. Like if you don't have an understanding of just how much the man on the other side of this video screen has given to Eva's over the course of his lifetime, it's a true testament to a person giving back to something that they're thankful for, that they care for passionately, that they, it's an organic feeling of giving back and being a part of the fabric of just how much Eva's has grown, because I'm sure over the last 33 years you've seen Eva's grow from what it was to now what it is. I mean, now it's crazy. Like,
yeah, when I first got to Eva's, I think our budget was $150,000 a year. Now we've grown into a village and our budget is a little over $15 million.
And to that point, I don't know if you remember this, but one of the best stories from the first behind the scenes we ever did back in what was it, 2010?
It was 13 years ago.
Yeah, so 2010. So when we did the first behind the scenes, I'll never forget, like we literally had no clue what we were doing. Like Joey might have, but me, Ralph, and Rob had zero clue what we were doing because we were male models were walking out of the men's bathroom onto a T-shaped stage in the middle of the restaurant. So, but I'll never forget it. I think the first year we raised like $33,000, and
yeah,
I'll never forget you saying to me, Darren, that's like one day's budget for Eva's. And when you said that to me, it was like, okay, we have to like ramp this up. We got to figure out a way to make this bigger and better. And I think it's fueled us every year to one up what we did last year, which I don't know how the hell we're going to do it next year. But we always manage to figure out a way.
Each year has gotten better because I think the people expect it. Every year we have to up what we did last year.
Yep.
I think what we did this year by far was the best. We raised over $108,000 over goal. And everybody left there full of joy. It was just a wonderful night. It was great for me. I was petrified walking on that runway. And I can honestly say, I know that everybody in that room really loves me. Like, I can say that. But I was still nervous, and that's why I had Jeremy walk me up, because I was so scared. I was on that runway. It's all eyes on me, and I don't like all eyes on me, though the way I dress says otherwise. But I don't like everybody looking at me.
Yeah, from the way you dress, you can never guess that. You're honestly the outfits that you wear are like they're the craziest I've ever seen on people. Like the fact that you had those like moon boots, the red moon boot thingies, like for the night of, was just spectacular.
Darren, they're sitting in my living room right now in the box. I haven't touched them. I wore them.
You just wore them.
I might make a planner out of it. I don't know. Like, where am I going to wear them? It was a fashion show, so I brought some fashion. You can't drive in them. Like, I have to take them somewhere and put them on, and then have somebody help me take them off.
I love, but this right here is the simplicity of Joey Mazza. It was a fashion show, so I brought fashion. I brought the people what they wanted.
And let's listen. And I'm not saying I'm all that, but when I walked up on the stage, I got a standing ovation. Just walking up on stage to hug all you guys. That's how the people feel about me. And that's because that's the way I feel about them, and they know it.
But that's see the beauty of Joey Mazza. That's the beauty of Joey Mazza, because in all the years of me knowing you, like And look, there's been some like high leverage situations with regards to this event. This event has morphed into something that I'm not sure you saw it coming on 13 years ago, but I had no clue it was going to turn into what it is or what it was
But we
or
couldn't
what it,
stop it. We couldn't stop it.
no, but I'm saying it's a collective effort of the people, but you're definitively probably the tip of the spear that brings the beauty of Joey Mazza is that you have this ability to bring people together. And that's a beautiful thing. And the fact that you don't play into it, you have a humble way of bringing it about. That's the beauty of you. So have knowledge in that and have an understanding that when you're doing these things and as you're going about your day, you know, and here's the other thing about Joey that probably a lot of people don't know. If you go serve in the kitchen down at Eva's, Joey's right on the front lines, man. It's like serving and there with like the beauty of you and what we get to see is that you never forgot where you came from. And that's rare in this day and age sometimes. And so that's an element of you that really, to me, I admire, I think is exceptional, and I think is honestly is not there in a lot of people that say that they do it, but they don't. So
Listen, if the people I've acquired in my life through my travels these past 33 years come to Eva's Village and they serve, I'm serving with them.
yeah.
It happens when the behind the scenes people come. If there's other donors that come, the Hawthorne Police Department, they come twice a year. I'm with them because it's important to keep these cultivations going. For me, the kitchen is where it starts.
Yep.
You know, once you feed somebody, you have access to a conversation and find out what they need.
Yep.
So I like to go down to the kitchen, one, because I know most of the people that eat in the kitchen. And two, I like to see the volunteers every morning. So we have the breakfast volunteers that I say thank you to, and I have the lunch volunteers that I say thank you to, because I don't want them to feel that they're not appreciated.
Yeah. No, it's for anybody who hasn't is watching this and that hasn't volunteered. It's a life-changing experience, you know.
And I have to say, I didn't know anything about development. I didn't know anything about cultivation. When Donna Fico was the development director, she taught me everything I know.
Kudos to Donna.
And,
Donna was awesome.
and the way I am with the donors, the relationship I built, just calling a donor up and asking them to go for lunch, and it's not always about an ask. When I was going through my cancer treatment, so many donors called me up just to check on me.
Yeah.
And when I was going through that cancer treatment, because behind the scenes was going on, I never took a day off. And I should have went on disability for the 7 weeks. But behind the scenes is our baby. I wasn't putting that in somebody's hands.
I can't imagine. I didn't know that. I obviously knew you were going through treatment, but I can't imagine doing behind the scenes with anybody but you. And it's become kind of its own little family, which is super cool. I think it's
Absolutely.
And people, the best part about it is that people who weren't a part of it, they see it or you invite them and then they want to become a part of it. People like Megan and you know, like Colleen and Pete, like later on, like all these people have come on later. They didn't know about it the first 5, 6, 7 years that it happened. And now it's become something that has morphed into like a self-fulfilling prophecy almost.
Right. And you brought in Dave and Philippe,
yeah.
And that morphed. They were models.
Yep.
And I started following them on Instagram, and then we just became great friends, and we talk all the time. We see each other every week. Like, it's just, this thing has taken off and has really filled my life with a lot of great people.
Yeah. Agreed.
Yeah. Just been, and I have to say something. I'm going to try not to get emotional. I wouldn't rewrite my story at all. I'm glad I traveled the road I traveled, or I wouldn't know you. I wouldn't know Ralph. I wouldn't know any of the people that are in my life right now. So the road I traveled, that story will never be rewritten because I'm grateful for it. Even though it was painful, I'm grateful I traveled that road.
I'm glad not to make light of the fact that you're tearing up, but usually I'm tearing up in these. So I'm thankful that you actually kind of broke down first. Thank you for that. Usually it's me. No, your story, again, I've heard it 20 times now, and the power and the energy and the emotion and everything that goes along with it. And the proof was in the pudding this year when you spoke in front of everybody. It was the most powerful sort of testimony about how, and it's an example too. It's an example to people that are going through. There are people in that room that are hurting in different ways. It doesn't have to be like drug addiction or whatever, but there are people in that room that are hurting in different ways that come to that show. And we probably don't even know all of them, but we probably changed some lives in the process.
Absolutely. There's a young lady that works at Patagra. I think she just might have graduated from PCTI.
Yep.
And I was DJing at Patagra on a Thursday night. She said, "You're the guy that spoke at the fashion show, right?" And I said, "Yes." She said, "Well, I was inside and I didn't get to hear your story. Would you be able to talk to me?" This is an 18-year-old girl. And we sat down and I talked to her and she says, "I wish I was out there." You touch one person, it's worth everything. Especially young kids like Bart Mangelli. Bart Mangelli did, and I love this guy with all my heart. He's become a friend. He did the commencement speech at Paramus Catholic at the Prudential Center.
Yep.
And he called me. First, he spoke to another donor that night and asked if I would be okay if he used some of my story. And she said, "Absolutely, call Joey." And Bart called me the next day. I sent him the whole story. And he spoke about me at the Prudential Center in front of hundreds of people. And I felt honored that he did this. He could have talked about anybody. He wanted to talk about me. Bart
is a national treasure.
I love him with all my heart.
One of the things that I most admire about you is your ability to be a conduit to bring people together. And I think that, I know you joke because when you got up there, you needed I was joking with you before the night of the event that afternoon. I was like,
I have the pictures.
Yeah, like you need an 8-year-old to jump. You're like, I don't know how you jump up on stage and just do that. And I'm like, it's a mindset, man. It's it's blue steel. It's for the kids. Like that's what you do, but your ability to be a conduit, to bring people together, to be sort of like a lightning rod for energy and enthusiasm, and in that room, and I'm talking specifically for the event, but it's even like multiplied 1,000-fold when you're talking about Evas in general. But like just you'll probably giggle when I say this, the sheer amount of like energy in the room with regards to the personalities between Rob and Ralph and me and all the people that are in that room. Like everybody has their thing that they want to bring. And for you to be able to harness it and to kind of bring it all together and to execute the vision year after year after year, that's a gift, man. That's a gift that like people don't, you're born with that. You're born, like you might think it's been cultivated over time, but you always had that in your good, in your bad, in your terrible moments, in your most high moments, like whatever that moment was, that's a gift that was given to you. And it needs to be spoken into existence here because it should be celebrated. And I know I am humbled by it. I wish I had sometimes when I see you pulling all these people together and doing it in a fashion like for those out there that have never been to a behind the scenes, it's an endeavor. It is a bear to get everything together. And I don't even get to see every single piece of it as it's coming together in the minutia or in the weeds, so to speak. But man, how you do it and how you do it with grace and just dignity and in for the mission, for the event, for the people that have all these grandiose personalities that you're pulling it together. It's a gift, Joey. And I want to speak that into existence because I want you to know that you're humble and blah, 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 and whatever. But like, F you, man. I'm just saying it. That's what I'm saying.
Well, that made me giggle.
I'm saying it and I'm FUing and that's it. That's going on record. That's now been recorded into existence. You can't take that away from me.
Darren, I have to say this. I love what I do and I love who I do it for.
Yep.
Like when I got to Eva's Village, I was nothing. And now I know I'm something. And I'm worth the life I live. And I'm living a life right now that I've dreamed of living my whole life. And that's where my gratitude speaks when I'm dealing with these people that fund Eva's Village. I know what my donor's wife's favorite perfume is, what kind of wine they like. I'm involved with their lives. It's not just a relationship where I'm getting money out of them. I've built major friendships with the people that support Eva's Village.
Yeah. One of the best nights we had was going to Madam in Jersey City and being able to do
awesome.
it to do it together and to share a meal and to have, like on a Saturday night and getting to enjoy that. It's incredible. Even for me, to put it into perspective, similar to you, what you're saying, like you've built something that goes beyond just you. When you can speak that, when you can say that and say, I've helped build something, I've been a part of building something that not only has given me an identity to what you were saying about like, I know I'm worth something. Like you were always worth something, Joey. It's just a matter of having people around you that support you, that love you, that care for you, that want to see you excel, but then also reciprocate that. And I think that's so important. And that's what you do as well. You've paid it forward in a way that a lot of people might not have done. Like they might have gotten themselves clean, they might have gone through the program and they might have moved on, or they might have moved somewhere else, or like you've literally embodied the slogan of like giving back. Like you've literally given back to the thing that you feel so blessed to have had and to like carry you through your hardest time.
And I keep giving back. It's important.
Yeah.
It's important for me.
Yeah. But there's a lot of people that wouldn't have done that. So own that, man. That's
Absolutely.
Heavy. That's heavy.
I'm 64 years old and my job has mentioned like how much longer I'm going to work and all that. And I keep thinking in my head, I love Eva's Village. Yeah, things are just, and I love our board members. I just love everything about Eva's.
Yep.
But when it comes time for them to look for somebody to replace the event manager, they have to look for somebody to replace me.
Yeah.
And I'm not just an event manager. You have to replace Joey Mazza. And
That's not going to be easy shoes to fill.
say that with full confidence. I can't teach somebody what I do. I could teach them how to run events. I can't teach them the little niceties that I do at these events or when I'm with a donor. That's something that you're born with.
I agree. It's innate. It's a similar thing when you're talking through, some of the folks on my staff, like just be a good human 101. Like,
yeah, exactly.
It's not always about the transaction. It's about the relationship. It's about somebody knowing, it's like going to a department store. You want a salesperson up your ass, or you want to know that they're there and they like know what you like and how you like what you like, and they're there, when they see something nice. Like, I'll use Ralph as an example. Ralph, when something comes in that Ralph knows that I like, he'll call me and he'll know, and it'll be those little caring things that it's the extra 1%. And
it's like going to Bergdorf's and having a personal shopper, or going to Salaretta and having a personal shopper. It's
here we
the
go.
same thing.
Here's a shout out to Uncle Ralph, personal shopper, baby.
And this is how this all started. By Ralph and I having a conversation.
Mm-hmm.
This is how, and this is where we are 13 years later. Ralph was a conduit too, because I met all these wonderful people. We have a committee of 16 people that are strong. They do this selflessly. Like, this is the one event that we don't have any of our board members a part of the committee. This is all people that are like-minded that got together for the cause of raising money for the programs of Eva's Village.
Yeah.
And I have to say this because you put me on this pedestal tonight. The people on this committee do it for me.
It is. It's for Eva's Village, but again, the conduit, and the fact that we have, like I said, there are big personalities on this, and there are moments of like tension during the course of, like, as you're planning it and putting it together. But at the end of the day, like, we're all on the same team. And
yeah, I've gotten in my position, I have to take what's dealt to me.
Yeah.
And I don't give it back, because everybody, even committee members, everybody's a donor, and you treat donors the way they need to be treated. Even on the committee, if there's a little something, we get through it and we get the job done.
Yeah.
I've had donors yell at me for no reason, then they might have had a bad day. I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah. I just, there are times, again, where I marvel at what you're doing. We'll wrap this up. I know we're getting on in time, but I wanted this to happen because of the respect, the love, just the overall, the feeling of abundance over the last 15 years that we've been able to, work together, to become friends. My wife and kids, the family. We've been out together with the spouses. Like, it's just, the whole thing is just, never in a million years would I have thought 15 years ago when we started this, because I don't even know the number we're up to now that we've raised. We didn't even do 2 years because of COVID. That this little event where we were bringing Robert Graham fashions out of the men's room and onto a little tea stage in Batagra, that it would turn into this. But this homage, like I said, is yours. This will be something that you'll always have. It'll never be taken away. And I want you to know that over the course of time that I've known you, the amount of respect and the love and the care that I see that you put into people, I hope that I've given that back in a comparable fashion. And if I haven't, the next time you see me, you could punch me in the face if you want, or whatever. But just the love I have for Joey Mazza is indelible, and you'll always hold a place in my heart. And I wanted you to know that. And so this homage is yours, episode 33. I'm giving you the last word here to finish it up. And thank you. In the words of the Golden Girls, thank you for being a friend, man.
Yeah. This was a lot to take in, because when you invited me to do this podcast, I looked up Homage and I saw what it was, and I was like, okay. A little nervous because I'm not good getting a lot of praise. Like I told you, when I got up on that stage and all those people stood up, I just couldn't wait to get to the end, because I don't do this for the praise. I do it for Eva's Village. But to feel the love that I get from you, and please know it's reciprocal. The love I have for you, for your family, for Ralph, for Rob, like Christine, the whole committee, they mean the world to me. Like, I can't wait to start planning for next year. But I
wish that too fast, because we're going to be knee deep in it in like a month. It's like it just got over. Like, give us the summer.
And like Ralph always says when he speaks at the fashion show, if you've never been to Eva's Village, I suggest that you come down and see the work that we do, because I see miracles happening every day at Eva's Village. People are being fed. People are being treated for drug and alcohol abuse. Mothers are with their children in the Hope residence. They're not put in foster care. We're opening up our culinary school in late August. We closed it because of COVID, and now it's going to be reopening. Just to throw a shout out, we have our Master Chefs on the Hudson at Patello Restaurant in Jersey City on Monday, September 18th, which is an awesome event. We have 24 of the top chefs in New Jersey. Nicholas Elmy, who was a Top Chef winner, is our celebrity chef guest who is coming up from Philadelphia. And it's an awesome event. So if anybody wants to reach out to me, my number is everywhere.
If anybody needs Joey's number that's watching this from my side, just let me know, and I'll get.
Yeah,
and
if you want to come down to Eva's, I would love to tour you around. I know everything about all the programs. I'm a product of Eva's Village, so I could sell the mission.
Well, you not only sell the mission, you live the mission, and that's something that respectfully is probably what I hold you in the highest regard for, is that you were able to receive from Eva's Village at one point in your life when you were going through a difficult time, and you've given back 1,000-fold. So Joey Mazza, homage number 33 is in the books. I hope it wasn't too nerve-wracking.
No, it wasn't. But I just want I just want everybody to know there's hundreds of Joey Mazzas at Eva's Village. there's plenty of miracles happening at Eva's Village. I just happen to be the one that stands out the most.
But there was a reason for that. There was because of the reason it stands out the most is because you are so willing to give back. And it takes a special type of person to be able to go through what you went through. Again, if you've never heard Joey's story, pull him aside if you see him and ask him, because the courage that it takes to tell and how much passion and just candor he's willing to tell it with is immense. But
call me. We can go to Batagua for lunch.
yeah, well, I'll go. Invite me too. I'll go too. I like to eat. I like to eat at Batagua. No, in all honesty, Joey, thank you for being you. This homage is yours. Closing the book on it now, and I can't imagine my life without you. I can't imagine not having behind the scenes in my life. I can't imagine not being able to help where we can with Eva's Village. And I'm just so thankful for you, and your life is worth so much more than you give credit for sometimes. So own that moving forward. And we all love you, man. Thank you for being you.
And I love all you guys. And thank you for the validation today.
You're welcome. You're
It
welcome.
was very well received. Thank you so much.
Yep. So
Aaron, I love you.
I love you too, pal. Love you too. So to everybody out there, episode 33 in the can. Joey Mazza, hit me up if you want to connect with Eva's Village, or if you want to get involved with behind the scenes. Number 14 is coming. I don't know if this has been confirmed yet or if I'm jumping the gun, but
It's
think
in
next
May. It'll be in May.
Next May. We haven't had our committee follow-up yet, but next May, number 14, we'll start planning for it very soon. So if anybody wants any information on it or wants to get involved, reach out to me if they don't have Joey's number, and we'll get you involved. We have so much more that we need to do, and we're going to continue growing it and making it more special every year. Although, like I said, I don't know how we're going to make it more special than we did last year. I'm sure you'll figure out a way.
Yeah, we will.
But thank you again for everything, Joey. Love you, my brother. We'll talk soon.
I love you too, Darren, and thank you.